What if I told you that a young revolutionary leader from Africa, a man who stunned the world by defying global powers, has a bold plan to save Pakistan from one of its deadliest enemies? Not terrorism, not poverty, but something far more destructive. Floods? Yes, you heard that right. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the military leader of Burkina Faso, is being discussed in global circles not just for his fearless stand against neo-colonialism, but for his surprising and shocking visionary ideas to combat natural disasters. And what's more shocking? His strategies could hold the key to solving Pakistan's devastating flood crisis, which in recent years has drowned entire villages, displaced millions, and caused billions of dollars in losses. This is not fiction, not hype, but a story of how bold leadership, radical thinking, and unconventional plans can change the destiny of nations. So buckle up, because in this video we're diving deep into Ibrahim Traoré's shocking plan to save Pakistan from floods, a plan that may sound impossible until you realize it just might work. 1. Pakistan's flood nightmare. Let's first set the stage. Every year, Pakistan braces for monsoon rains, but in recent years, things have gone from bad to catastrophic. In 2022, record-breaking floods submerged nearly one-third of the entire country. Over 33 million people were affected. More than 1,700 lives were lost. And the economic damage? A staggering $30 billion. Entire villages in Sindh and Balochistan turned into lakes. Families watched their homes get swallowed by water. Children carried their school books on their heads, wading through waist-deep floodwaters. And when the waters finally receded, the destruction left behind was worse than a war zone. Now here's the problem. This isn't a one-time disaster. Climate change is making Pakistan one of the most vulnerable countries on Earth. Melting glaciers in the north, combined with extreme monsoons in the south, create a deadly cocktail. And despite international aid, Pakistan has struggled to rebuild infrastructure, provide safe housing, and prevent future catastrophes. But here's where Ibrahim Traoré's shocking vision enters the story. 2. Who is Ibrahim Traoré? Before we dive into his plan, let's take a closer look at the man himself. Ibrahim Traoré is not your typical politician. He's not a career bureaucrat or a Western-educated elite. He's a 35-year-old military officer who stunned the world in 2022 by leading a coup in Burkina Faso, a small landlocked African nation struggling with terrorism, poverty, and corruption. Instead of following the traditional route of dependency on Western aid, Traoré took a bold stance, rejecting French influence and neo-colonial control, promoting Pan-African unity and self-reliance, advocating for revolutionary ideas to tackle poverty, hunger, and climate disasters. He became an instant icon for young Africans, often called the Thomas Sankara of the new era. But what makes him stand out is not just his defiance, but his fresh approach to leadership. Traoré believes that nations of the global south must unite, sharing knowledge, resources, and strategies to survive in a world where climate disasters and economic inequalities are growing. And when asked about climate resilience, he shocked many by mentioning that Burkina Faso's survival strategies could even inspire flood-prone countries like Pakistan. 3. The shocking plan. How Burkina Faso's lessons could save Pakistan. Now let's break down Traoré's shocking plan and how it applies to Pakistan. 1. Community-driven flood defense systems. Traoré believes that ordinary people, not just governments, should be empowered to build resilience. In Burkina Faso, communities are encouraged to construct small-scale dams, barriers, and irrigation systems themselves, low-cost but highly effective. For Pakistan, this could mean village-level water channels to redirect floodwaters, community-built levees and embankments, training locals with disaster response skills. Instead of waiting for billions in international aid, Pakistan could empower its 33 million affected citizens to become part of the defense system. 2. Green barriers against water. Burkina Faso has pioneered green walls, planting trees and vegetation barriers to stop desertification. Traoré believes these natural defenses are far stronger than concrete walls alone. Applied to Pakistan, this would mean reforestation along the Indus River, planting mangroves in Sindh's coastal regions to absorb storm surges, tree belts around villages to reduce soil erosion. It's nature protecting people rather than people fighting nature. 3. Water storage revolution. One of Traoré's key strategies is to turn disaster into opportunity. In Burkina Faso, rainfall is scarce, but when it comes, they capture every drop. For Pakistan, this could transform floods into future resources, building thousands of small dams across flood-prone regions, storing excess floodwater for irrigation during droughts, using new technologies like underground reservoirs and rain harvesting rooftops. Imagine if instead of drowning villages, floodwaters could irrigate barren lands in Balochistan or Thar Desert. 4. South-South cooperation. Traoré is a big believer in global South solidarity. He argues, why should developing nations always wait for Western donors when they can learn from each other? For Pakistan, this means collaborating with countries like Burkina Faso, Bangladesh, and Vietnam, nations that also face floods and climate shocks, and sharing low-cost, practical solutions. 4. Real-world examples that prove it can work. This might sound idealistic, but let's look at real-world parallels. Bangladesh. Once considered the drowning nation, Bangladesh invested in community flood shelters, floating schools, and early warning systems. Today, despite frequent floods, their death tolls have drastically reduced. Vietnam. Coastal mangrove planting protected thousands of homes from typhoons, while also creating jobs for local communities. China. The famous Sponge Cities project, using parks, lakes, and wetlands to absorb floodwaters, has inspired urban planners worldwide. If these nations can do it, why not Pakistan, with Traoré's bold vision as inspiration? 5. Why Pakistan needs bold leadership. The truth is, Pakistan doesn't just need money, it needs courageous leadership. Too often, aid disappears into corruption, or mega projects are planned but never completed. Traoré's message is simple but powerful. Empower the people. Build resilience at the grassroots. Make climate defense a national movement, not a government project. Imagine if every Pakistani village had its own flood defense committee. Schools taught children how to respond to disasters. Farmers were given tools to save water and protect crops. Youth volunteers planted millions of trees as natural barriers. This isn't just survival, it's transformation. 6. Technology and innovation, the missing piece. While community power and natural defenses are crucial, Ibrahim Traoré also emphasizes the role of technology in modern resilience. In Burkina Faso, simple but smart innovations like solar-powered pumps, mobile-based weather alerts, and drone surveillance for farmlands are already transforming rural survival. Now imagine this applied to Pakistan. AI-powered flood forecasting systems that warn villages days before disaster. Drones delivering emergency food and medicine to areas cut off by water. Solar grids powering flood shelters, ensuring light and communication when the grid fails. These aren't futuristic dreams. They're tools already being used in disaster-prone nations like Indonesia and the Philippines. The shocking part is that many of these solutions are low-cost and scalable. For Pakistan, combining Traoré's people-powered vision with smart tech could mean the difference between chaos and preparedness, between despair and hope. 7. The future. Can Traoré's vision become Pakistan's reality? Here's the big question. Will Pakistan adopt this kind of radical thinking? The shocking part is that it's not about money. Most of Traoré's ideas are low-cost, people-powered, and nature-based. They don't require billions in IMF loans. They require political will, unity, and imagination. If Pakistan embraces this approach, the results could be groundbreaking. Millions saved from displacement, billions saved in damages, a stronger, greener, more self-reliant Pakistan. But if it doesn't, the nightmare will repeat year after year. So here's the truth. Pakistan doesn't have to drown. It doesn't have to watch its people lose everything to floods again and again. And it doesn't have to wait for international saviors. The shocking plan of Ibrahim Traoré shows us that courage, vision, and people power can change destiny. And maybe, just maybe, what started in the deserts of Burkina Faso could inspire a flood-resilient future for Pakistan. Because sometimes, the most unexpected leaders carry the boldest solutions. If you found this eye-opening, thought-provoking, and worth sharing, then hit that like button, subscribe for more powerful stories, and share this video with someone who cares about Pakistan's future. Because together, we can spread ideas that save lives.